Morning, John.
Good morning. And good morning to all my friends out there in Facebook land, as they say. It is once again Sunday morning, December 17th. And so it's time for Sunday Morning Live with John M. and Hillary. And my very, very special guests, I've been waiting for this one for a while, are with me this morning, Tom, KELL, and Paula Fong.
Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing? It's great to see you. Great to be with you. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to play for us and to singing with you a little bit later. And we, as always, we have a lot to get to this morning, so I'm gonna kind of minimize the idle chit chat and get right into it here in a second. Is there anybody yet that I need to say hi to?
Yes, Angelina.
Good morning, Angelina. Thanks for coming back.
Gary and Marilyn.
Hi, Gary and Marilyn. Good to see you both.
Julie Taylor Fitzgerald.
Hey, Julie. You got here from the beginning this time. Thank you. Great to see you.
Erica Sorensen.
Erica?
Sorensen.
Hi, Erica. Thanks for joining us. Julie is a lady in Atlanta who has hosted me a few times for house concerts.
Oh,
and
great.
things.
That's great.
So, well, I'm gonna start off with a song that I absolutely destroyed last week when I tried to play it. And has this ever happened to you in a performance where you start to play a song that you've done like 1,000 times and you just, where am I? You know,
More and more.
By the way, Tom, Lisa Stolt Eastwood says hi.
Oh, hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Say hi to those kids of yours.
She said she misses you.
Yeah, likewise. Lisa's in Texas. No, Lisa's in Tennessee. Lisa's in...
Lisa, where are you at? Maybe she'll answer. And TJ Sullivan.
Hey, TJ. TJ was my guest last week. So anyway, I played this. I tried to play this song last week, and I fell off the horse. And they say when that happens, you got to get back on the horse. And it's really an appropriate song, I think, to do for this time of year. Although it is not a Christmas song per se, but you know, when we were all kids, Christmas just happened. You know, you didn't have to put any work into it. You didn't have to go shopping. You didn't have to send out cards or anything. It just happened. It was this magical thing that just befell you. And we all looked forward to it. And it was just this great, you know, joyous, magical thing. And so I try to keep that perspective on it alive in myself these days. And that's kind of... The other song I'm going to do later is kind of about that too, but this one is the non-Christmas version of the same thing. This is from one of my older records. This is called The Eyes of a Child. I'm going to play it right this time, by God. There was a time when it didn't take too much to make me laugh, like bubbles in the band, rolling in the grass. I saw life in a way that made me smile. I saw life through the eyes of a child. Nowadays, I'm older and much wiser than before. I wait until I'm sure. I always lock the door. And I never make a move without a plan. I see life through the eyes of a man. There was a time when it didn't take too much to make me cry, like being told a lie or a spitball in the eye. Time when I still trusted everyone. I saw life through the eyes of the young. And nowadays I know things aren't always as they seem to be. I know nothing comes for free, but that won't bother me. Today you will not find me unprepared. See life through the eyes of the scared. And nowadays, my prayer to the Lord is by and by. As long as I survive, keep the child in me alive. Remind me, Lord, to stop once in a while and see life through the eyes of a child.
Nice, John.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You certainly didn't
So-
destroy it this time.
No, thank you.
By the way, Lisa's in Kansas City.
That's I knew that.
And
I
she
knew
said,
that.
Kenzie says hi and she misses you so much.
That's so great. Yeah, go Royals, go Chiefs, all that stuff. Yeah.
And Pam Reisler's watching.
Hey, Pam. Thanks for watching. We got a special treat coming up right now. Let me go ahead and officially introduce you guys. Tom, KELL, and Paula Fong. You have been singing together now for what, a couple of years? Is it? Is it that long?
Yeah, since 2015.
yeah.
Yeah. And Tom has a very rich history in the music business. You used to have going back in the day, you had a deal with Warner's, was it?
Yeah, I did a couple records for Warner Brothers, and was one of those things where they really believed in me, and I had like these amazing people on my records. It was a pretty rich part of my life. The only issue is my records didn't really sell. So
Well, that's not a small club.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, it kind of got me introduced to the right people in Los Angeles that have become lifelong friends and have believed in my stuff ever since. So it's kind of allowed me to have this music career.
Yeah. So now, fast forwarding to the present day, you're still active in music. You up until very recently, you were still doing a little bit of touring, weren't you?
Yeah, Paul and I. Yeah, we'd go to Seattle in the summers, and a lot of playing around Southern California.
Right.
And that only stopped because of I had developed this nerve issue in my arm, which made it really hard for me to play, which I'm slowly kind of battling back through. But the cool thing about, and Paula could talk a little bit about this, but the cool thing is we're in the process of doing our new album. Paula and I have done one subsequent to this, and we're in the middle of doing this current one when this happened. So it's allowed us to spend a bunch of time working on this new record, which we really love. We really love this record.
Yeah, really excited about it.
With Nick Kirgo.
Well, and Nick is wonderful. Nick is going to be a guest here coming up.
He told us to say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, say hi to him, Joe. I love Nick. He's such a tasty player. You know, he really gets it that it's about complementing the music and the song and whoever, complimenting whoever you're playing behind, as opposed to just showing off. Look at all the fast flashy.
There's a
stuff
cool thing about him too, John. That J.D. Souther's a close friend of mine, and J.D. was playing Tucson, Arizona, a few years back, and my son was in architecture school there at the University of Arizona. And I called J.D. and said, "Hey, could you get my poor college student son into your show with his girlfriend?" And so we got them into the show, and they sat. He got them, third row, middle tickets, and Nick was in J.D.'s band for that show.
Wow.
And so it's one of those what's the chances of that?
Yeah, that's very
Because Nick
cool.
wasn't really touring with J.D. He just did a few shows, and he did that one. So it's really cool. The music community is pretty cool that way.
Well, I do want to get into your arm issues, and I also want to have you play a little bit. But let's say hi to Paula too, because I don't want to just sit here and talk to Tom.
No, please.
So tell us about yourself, Paula.
So I can tell you how Tom and I met.
Yeah, please.
Because I don't have as rich a background in terms of in the music industry, but I was working with Tracy Newman.
Oh, I know Tracy very well.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I was
She's
with her
great.
for maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
and,
Tracy's great.
Tom was singing at that time with Emiko Woods, and we ended up being on the same bill a couple of times. And I was really struck by Tom's songwriting and their musicality, and I thought, wow, if I was ever able to branch out and start writing on my own, that's the genre, that's the kind of music that really speaks to my heart. So as I was working with Tracy, I was kind of also writing on my own some, and then as it so happened, things just kind of worked out where I was able to branch off and work by myself. And then out of the blue, I got a phone call from Tom because he remembered that I had come to one of his shows in the past, and I actually went up to him after the show and told him how I felt about his music, and that stuck with him, I guess.
Yeah, and I somehow got her phone number, and so
Yeah, I don't know how that was.
called her. It might have been through Tracy.
Probably.
And called her and said, because Emiko had moved to Switzerland, got married, moved to Switzerland. I said, so Paula, let's get together and sing. Let's just get together and sing. You should.
Yeah.
And the rest was, just fell into place so organically. It worked out from the moment that we got together and sat down and started singing.
Yeah.
It just worked really well.
Well, let's give everybody a taste of what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do a couple songs. Both of these are on the new record, so that's reason enough to do them. We are both really happy people in general, but our songs are hopelessly sad. Like all of our songs are. Most of our songs.
I was going to
are
ask
sad.
you about that, and I will.
And there's a reason for that. Like there's many reasons for that. One is I just love writing beautiful sort of melancholy songs, but there's other reasons. But anyway, this is called "Don't Fall in Love." Don't fall in love. Maybe it'll break your heart, tear your little world apart. Don't take the chance. Nothing ever hurts so bad. Nothing makes your heart so sad. Too many people walking side by side, standing to the river wide that's raging by. Too many lovers thrown into the stormy sea. Only thing that's ever be are the tears they'll cry, just to wonder why. Don't give your heart. You'll never get it back again. Just simply wonder where it's been. Don't write it down. The worst still will come. You'll never be your chosen one. Too many people somehow seem to lose their way. No matter what their hearts will say, they'll trip and fall. Love comes when all else seems to slip away, but it just won't ever stay. So now I say, don't fall in love. Maybe it'll break your heart, tear your little world apart. Don't take the chance. Nothing ever hurts so bad. Nothing makes your heart so sad. Don't fall in love, baby. Don't fall in love, baby. Don't fall in love, baby. Don't fall in love. When you're feeling alone and scared, when you need some heart to share, when your joy has left your day, don't fall in love. When you just can't face the truth truth. There's not a single thing to do. It comes down to only you. Don't fall in love. 3, 4. Don't say my name.
Don't say it.
Hearing it just cuts so deep. I run into your arms and we don't walk away. And stand to watch you go, even though my heart already knows. Too many people blinded by desire, consumed by the passion's fire and a desperate song. Too many times they look the other way until it's way too late and love's long gone. Don't fall in love.
Maybe it'll break
Your heart, tear your little world apart. Don't take the chance. Nothing ever hurts so bad. Nothing makes your heart so sad. Don't fall in love, baby. Don't fall in love, baby. Don't fall in love, baby. Don't fall in love.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's as all your songs are. Very,
Yeah, thank
very. It's just like you were saying a minute ago. Your songs speak to me. I've heard you a number of times, and that has never not been true. So
Thanks, John.
Very cool. So let me ask you about the arm situation. What? Because the first few times I heard you were, there was no arm problem.
Right.
And you just woke up one morning and
Yeah, it's like some mysterious nerve ailment, and it really makes it hard to play the guitar. And I've played the guitar my whole life,
Yeah.
since I was 13. So having something make it hard to play the guitar is really bizarre to me. But yeah, it's like it's some brachial plexus nerve issue, and I've gone through all sorts of tests and treatments and whatnot, and it's a little better, slowly getting better, but still tough.
Yeah.
It's still tough. I mean, just playing the simplest thing requires a lot of effort.
Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly, when it first hit you couldn't play at all.
Yeah, I couldn't play at all, and when you asked us to do this, I was thinking, I think I can play well enough now to at least allow us to do this. But yeah, it's been hard. I mean, I think I teach children. I think teaching has helped because it's forced me to keep playing. And my right hand is still good. Like, I can still play. My right hand is fine. And the funny thing is, like, on Don't Fall in Love, there's no capo. So I have to reach down further, and that's hard. If Don't Fall in Love was played further up, it'd be really easy. So what I need is a little
Tiny
shorter
guitar.
guitar. They
Yeah.
do make them.
And yeah, they do. And I don't.
Smaller fingers.
The smaller fingers, and for my nerves to heal, that would be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I think I probably should mention this. The silver lining in this.
Oh yeah.
Is two things. One, Paula has stayed like steadfast in this. Like, she hasn't even flinched about this, and part of that has been recording this album. Like, we're in the mix. This album is so good. Like, we both just love it. And fortunately, I had most of my guitar parts done previous, and then the others Nick has just covered. So there's that's kind of kept our partnership
Momentum going. And,
yeah. And we focused solely on the record while this. And then the other is, I'm suddenly writing 3 songs a day. 3 songs a day. I never have written 3 songs a day. And I've always been a fairly prolific songwriter in that I've always felt like, and I think I've told you this before, it's like, if you're a songwriter, you should be writing songs.
Yeah.
Like, if you stop writing songs, then you used to be a songwriter. Like people get introduced, this is singer-songwriter, they haven't written a song in 4 years, It's like, you need to keep doing that. And so for me, not being able to play as well has opened up all these other.
Do you find, maybe not now with what you're going through, but just in general over the years, do you find that you have dry spells where you go, a few months maybe without writing anything, and then you, because that happens to me. It comes and goes in waves.
No,
I'll have a dry spell a few months where I don't write anything. I think the longest one I ever had was maybe 6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
And then, but then when the muse does reawaken, then I write a bunch of them. So.
Yeah. No, actually, being brutally honest, I've like never had a dry spell.
Wow.
I'm just like, and I say that with there's no boasting about that. It's just, I just like, I get 3 or 4 song ideas every day. It's just weird.
So I'd say being Tom's partner, it's always more so blessing than curse at all. But Tom's prolific writing is always like, oh, Paula, I've got 5 ideas at the table, and for me, it's a little not as common. Where
I know that you do have kind of some self-discipline involved too, where you structure into your daily routine.
Yeah, I treat it like a craft.
Writing.
I write every morning. Like it's a legal pad and coffee and a pen, and it used to be a guitar, and now I just write. I know, and I've done music for so long that I can sort of hear the changes as you would be able to, and I write. Paula's been really good about that. The cool thing is Paula brings ideas to our partnership as well, obviously, and one of them is the next song we're going to do, and what's beautiful about that, Don't Fall in Love, as well, is we bring the ideas to each other and then flesh them out together. If in fact I will write 2 verses of 50 songs and then bring them to Paula.
well, that's what I mean. It's a good problem to have.
I'll go, what do
these
speak? Yeah, do these speak to you? And Paula will go, oh, I really love what this is saying.
Let's finish that.
Let's finish that one. That's how that works. So I don't know. I think JD and I were talking about it once. He said, Tom, you write too much, but don't stop.
That's great.
Don't stop, because that's how it works for you.
Yeah.
I think it works differently for. I do write too much, in terms of you can't possibly finish all these songs or record all these songs. But that's how it works for me.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. I mean, Carla Bonoff writes 1 song a year, but it's killer.
Yeah.
It's a worthy year of waiting, and that's fine too. I respect that. I would never say she used to be a songwriter. I'm just saying, for me, songwriting is something that's just. Honestly, John, I got a guitar at 13 and wrote a song like a couple of days later.
Yeah.
Like it was a bad song.
I heard Billy Joel talk about that once. He was talking with Stevie Wonder, I think, and Stevie said something to him to the effect of, I write 100 songs a year.
Yeah.
And Billy said, well, that's great. How many of them do you record?
Right.
And Billy said, I write about 10 songs a year, but I record them all.
All of them. Well, and Don Henley, I know the Eagles guys fairly well, and they're the same way. It's like JD's the same way. It's like they don't write a song every day, but when the end of The Innocents took Don a while, but that's a worthwhile year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why it's easy for me to say it without boasting. I'm not saying I write 3 amazing songs every day. I'm saying that's my process.
Yeah.
And Paula's gotten used to that. She gets hit with all this stuff, but that's just how it works.
But it's great because I feel like it gives us so many options, choices, inspiration to bounce off.
Yeah.
Some of them end up a cappella, some of them end up waltz time, some of them end up, it's like, and we like the other thing I think that's crucial is that we like the same thing.
Yeah.
We basically like the same thing.
It's kind of amazing how
Yeah.
ridiculous
We like the same thing.
Well, hit us with another one.
Yeah. Let me, excuse me, Hillary. By the way, Hillary is right in front of me at this very moment. Actually, right in front of all of us. Hi, Hillary.
Hey.
So this is an idea Paula brought to me, pretty fleshed out, and we finished it together. I love this song. It's on our new record. Did I mention that?
Yes.
What's the name of the new record?
We don't know yet. Yeah.
Good
Maybe we should call it We Don't Know Yet. Because he asked and we both, generally, I really like naming records after a line from a song, not a title of a song.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do that, but we haven't gone through them yet. They're all pretty sad. But not all of them. This one's kind of hopeful.
Yeah.
In a sad sort of way. Here we go.
Look across the valley to the other side of sorrow, where the sunlight lingers dancing across the sparkling rills. Listen
shines through. Let this melody be written in your ear. May you cry enough, die enough, have to say goodbye enough to learn to see the beauty through the fear. Look outside your window at the other side of heartache. Wonder where they rush to, all those strangers passing by, living every shade of gray, with each his own shoulder. A part of you knows deep inside, ain't no use asking why. And may this prayer tide you over till the sun shines through. Let this melody be written in your ear. May you cry enough, die enough, have to say goodbye enough to learn to see the beauty through the fear. The moment that you find yourself among the broken pieces, when every new step forward is a mark upon the sand, and all that was will fade away, and what's to come uncertain. The only certain thing is that you'll finally understand. May this prayer tide you over till the sun shines through. Let this melody be written in your ear. May you cry enough, die enough, have to say goodbye enough to learn to see the beauty through the fear. May you cry enough, die enough, have to say goodbye enough to learn to see the beauty through the fear.
Wow. Man, you guys do good song.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
We've been doing a lot of talking this morning because there's been a lot of stuff I wanted to ask you about, and I'm really getting into it. And I'm going to do another song in just a moment. I told you that you would probably get 2 songs, but if you've got a third one that you want to do, I'll make time for it.
Sure.
You want
Want to do it now?
Yeah.
You want to do Tender Heart of Mine? Tender Heart of Mine? Maybe you should say a little.
If I can make it all the way through without crying, and I don't know what to say about this one. It's gorgeous. It's on our new album.
Is it sad?
This has a hopeful chorus.
Strange. Yeah. See, I think that once I influence Tom's sorrow with a little bit of my hope every now and then.
Yeah, our first record was called Between
Heartache and Promise.
Heartache and Promise. Yeah, that's where we. That's
where we meet.
That's the vein we mine.
Yes.
Somewhere between Heartache
Definitely.
and Promise.
Yeah.
So let me think if I can remember this. A fall from grace is never what I'm after. I seek the slightest nod from every soul, each person that I meet, to fill with laughter. These young hearts will one day become the old. That was a diminished chord that I couldn't quite play. True wisdom can't be found within some fable. It's only found beneath every step you take. Every turn you make can set the table and cause your voice to sing or a heart to break. Tender heart of mine, release me from this danger. Tender heart of mine, beat strong to pull us through. And if I ever cross the path of the right stranger, let me know the choice comes deep inside of you. From cold and lonely, straight to warm and sunny. From all alone to walking hand in hand, there ain't enough gold what you need to understand. Tender-hearted mind, release me from this danger. Tender-hearted mind, be strong to pull me through. If I ever cross the path of the right stranger, let me know. The choice comes deep inside of you. The choice is only yours, and that's the problem. The steps are only yours, but that's the gift we have to live. The winds that blow you back won't be abated, and you alone decide what they can give. Tender-hearted mind, release me from this danger. Tender-hearted mind, be strong to pull me through. If I ever cross the path of the right stranger, let me know. The choice comes deep inside of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's just beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan, as you know, and I could just sit here all day and listen to you guys sing. But
Thanks for
we
having
don't have
us.
all day.
Yeah,
and,
thanks for having us.
Yeah. One last question I want to ask you real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. But you've mentioned a couple times about you know, the vein you mind being the sad songs, and is it? Do you find that it's just easier to write about those emotions and easier to articulate them, or as opposed to, you know, happy, you know, walking on sunshine?
I think so, and I'll let Paula respond too. But I think it's what's really interesting about it is it's being honest. Like we're not writing about imaginary stuff. Like I can pull up, and Paula can too, pull up pain that we've both been through. Like anything, like Tender-Hearted Mind just reeks of the truth. Like there's, and so for me, you know, songs come from an emotional place, and so I can pull that up, you know, and songs fall out when I do. If I pull up happy, songs fall out then too. And I've written hundreds of songs for the school where I teach about dinosaurs and polar bears and stuff. And even in our gospel side of our writing, it's very up and much happier. So I did all the talking. You should answer that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it reminded me of, I took a songwriting class with Harriet Schock, and she was talking about, she talked about like the tension in songs and how when you have an emotional topic that comes up, oftentimes that's unresolved or something that really pulls at your heartstrings. It's something other people can relate to as well, you know, in a way, because everyone's got that. And I know that everybody also has joyful parts of their life, but I don't know, there's something about the sorrowfulness and the tender hope, you know, that tender heart that pulls you through those
melancholy
tough times.
too. I think
it just really reaches out to people.
I've always found that, and I've written both, of course, happy and sad, but I find that more stressful, more emotionally, you know, tormented topics are just easier to articulate. You know,
that's probably true too.
It seems like you have a wider palette. You know, it cuts like a knife. My tears are, you know. Yeah. Whereas
true.
if you're happy, you know, well, I'm happy today.
Yeah, walking on sunshine can only be written once. But you know the other part. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is that I feel like music is very healing. You know, music is something that people turn to when they're in those moments of darkness, and so oftentimes that's one of the reasons why.
The greatest comment I've ever read about it, and it was in some article called "Why Do People Love Sad Songs?" And I'd never thought of this, John, because for me it was just articulating how I feel. Like I need to be honest. If I'm going to move an audience, they need to feel like I'm singing about something real, right? Yeah. So I'd pull up my heartache and go, okay, here it is, and people can relate to that because there's not a person, not an adult at least, on the planet that hasn't had heartache, right? Right. But the article pointed out something I'd never thought of, in that it allows people to think, oh, he feels like I do.
You're not alone. Yeah.
I'm not alone. Like the shared pain, like you're expressing something that's shared. Like, oh yeah, I've had my heart broken. He's singing about it right now. And then it's not like you don't want to hear that. You kind of lay down in it.
I think to an extent the gift, part of the gift we have as songwriters is that we can, you know, I've heard people say to me a lot with all different kinds of songs that, you know, that's exactly how I've been feeling, but I never knew how to say it,
Right.
and you just said it for me.
Yeah.
You know.
And the ironic thing is you were saying it for yourself.
Right.
You were expressing yourself.
Yes.
But we're all humans, you know? Like, there's nobody walking. There's very few people walking the planet with a completely unique experience. You know what I mean? Like, even the Dalai Lama
Yeah.
has had heartache,
Well,
you know?
yeah, absolutely.
Jesus Christ had heartache. You know, it's like right down to the orphan kid or the rich kid. They've all experienced heartache.
Speaking of Jesus Christ and of expressing oneself,
Yeah.
I've been kind of teasing my audience for the past couple of weeks by saying, well, you know, I know Christmas is coming, but I'm not going to do any Christmas songs yet. And last week I said, okay, maybe next week, you know, maybe we'll have a Christmas song.
Yeah, so you've dragged us into this.
Yes. I have in fact written a Christmas song, and I'll tell you, we're going a little bit long, but I'll tell you very briefly how this song got written. I when I first moved to Nashville, where I lived for about 12 years, when I first got there, I was overwhelmed by how great all the songwriters were. You know, I just felt like I was immersed in this songwriting pool. You know, and I moved there in the late fall, and came Christmas time, I saw an ad in the paper that said, you know, at Douglas Corner tonight, an evening of entirely original Christmas songs by Nashville songwriters. And I had been trying to write a Christmas song for a couple of years and had failed miserably. I just kept coming up with junk. And I thought, oh man, this is going to be great. This is going to be just what I need. I'll be so inspired. And I went and I listened to this evening, and there were some good songs that night, and a lot of, you know, great artists. But it, so much of it was so formula. You know, there's like two categories. There was the one category where people were singing the traditional basic, you know, everyday broken-hearted love song set against a Christmas background. I'm missing you tonight under the mistletoe, you know, that kind of thing. And there was also the other camp was people who just, you know how some songwriters, they'll take all the elements they think they need in a song and they'll lay them out like puzzle pieces. And it's so, okay, you got Yule log, eggnog, the snow, mistletoe, you know. And so there were a lot of songs that were put together that way. And I listened to a couple of hours of this stuff. And I came away from it thinking, well, you know, some of these are decent songs, but none of you guys are really writing about Christmas. You know, you're kind of missing the point. And so in a way I was inspired by it, because by God, I'm going to go home and I'm going to write a song about Christmas. And that's what this is. And boy, is this going to be fun, because Tom and Paula are going to sing it with me. That's what Christmas is to me. It's not about the colored lights, mistletoe, snowball fights. It's not about the tinsel on the tree. It doesn't matter what you spend or how many cards you send. That's not what Christmas is to me. Oh, I love it all, don't get me wrong. I'll deck the halls and sing the songs. I'll stay up late on Christmas Eve. And I'll buy gifts for everyone. But after all is said and done, deep in my heart, what I believe is the God the Father touched the earth in a manger with a virgin birth, right before the eyes of wise men three. Jesus Christ Almighty came to be. That's what in department stores. I wrote him letters faithfully, and I was always well behaved, 'cause I knew I'd love the gifts he gave. That was how Christmas used to be. But I turned on the news one night. I saw Christmas in a different light. The merchandising and the greed. And it's fine to give to those you love, but make sure you save just enough to give to those who truly need. 'Cause God the Father touched the earth in a manger with a virgin birth, right before the eyes of wise men three. Jesus Christ Almighty came to be. That's what Christmas is to me. Every year about this time, it serves us to remind the greatest gift of all is love. When I think of those whose fates are sealed on city streets and battlefields, I know we cannot give enough. And I never thought I'd be the one to say it truly is more fun to give than to receive. So let's gather round the Christmas feast and join hands and pray for peace, and pray for those who don't believe that God the Father touched the earth in a manger with a virgin birth, right before the eyes of wise men three. Jesus Christ Almighty came to be. That's what Christmas is. God the Father touched the earth in a manger with a virgin birth, right before the eyes of wise men three. Jesus Christ Almighty came to be. That's what Christmas is. Come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh come ye, oh come ye. Jesus Christ Almighty came to be. That's what Christmas is to me. That's what Christmas is to me.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
job,
Christmas,
John.
everybody. Tom and Paula, thank you for joining me this
It's a
morning.
joy. It's a joy.
And thanks to all of you. Are there anybody?
So many people.
Oh wow!
Laura Wilcox Hamilton.
Hi, Laura.
And I guess she's Stacy's aunt, so they're
Yes.
saying hi to each other
Yeah.
on the broadcast. And so many people came by with lots of hearts and thumbs up, and you'll see it all later.
Great.
Wow. Well, thank you again for joining us as always. And as I always say, thank you for watching and for liking. And for those of you who do, thank you so much for sharing this with your friends, because this thing is growing. There's no doubt about it now. We had over 800 views last week, which is that's only the second time that's ever happened, and the first time was the anniversary show, which was an hour-long show. So,
Great.
so thank you for helping us get this thing going, and thanks again to my guests Tom and Paula. we will see you next week. And next week, of course, a week from today, is Christmas Eve. But we will not be deterred. We will do a Sunday morning live with John M. even on Christmas Eve. And my guest next week is the voice behind the camera, the person who every once in a while, I say, well, tomorrow afternoon I'm going to be performing blah 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 at 4:00, and this voice comes at, no, it's 3:00, John. Oh yeah, 3:00. That person, Hillary McClarty, will be my guest next Sunday.
Awesome.
You get to meet her, and we're going to get somebody else to do camera for us next week, and it's going to be a fun thing. So be sure and come back and join us for that, and spend Christmas Eve with us.
Thanks for having us, John.
Yeah, thank you. It's been great. So
Always
happy
good to see you.
holidays to all of us.
Thank you.
Ciao for now.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.